Okay, so we've created thumbnails for YouTube, we've created iTunes artwork for the podcast, we've created a Google Plus profile, which I just used the YouTube one for the channel art. And now I want to create one for Facebook, which needs to be 851 by 315. I'm just going to use my logos and everything, so it shouldn't take too long. I've got my blue background. I want to use my logo. Maybe I'll open up the layers, that way I can make it editable. Duplicate. I've got an unused Facebook account for a business that I was going to create before I got sick. So it never went anywhere. It's got a 27 likes, it's nothing. So I'm going to use that as a base, just so I know where things sort of, the layout and everything. And then I'll just put that behind. And that way, when I link all these layers together, and I've got my arrow that I've just been working on for the YouTube videos. And what I want to do with that arrow is have let me open up a Facebook page around about here, because you can add different links here with different tabs. So at the moment it doesn't have anything, a timeline, about, photos, likes, and more. If I say for the sign up one, which I haven't used, have that there, I want the 17-minute challenge to sort of point in that area so that people know that there'll be something to sign up there, so that they can get a gift for becoming, be rewarded for the precious like, really. So roughly center, which is sort of where it is already, because I don't want it to go over the profile photo, and I want to have 17-minute challenge or something else there. Although it actually has been about 1.5 years since I last created a Facebook profile. I know, that's crazy, isn't it? That's how long I've been taking care of my health and restarting my life. So I'm not sure of the rules on that anymore. I actually haven't seen too many people using arrows and things. They still use like free giveaways and stuff, but there used to be, on the Facebook, there used to be different tabs underneath, with colors and stuff, and then you could play with the colors. You could, drag the arrow around and have it match the color of the tab, whereas now they're just plain old tabs. So I'm not sure. I'm going to create this anyway in the spirit of the 17-minute challenge, and then I'm going to find out whether I'm breaking any rules by doing that. And then obviously I'd have to change the arrow, maybe even to just a line. I could just do something like that, and that'll draw the eye to where I want them to view anyway, because the eye automatically follows the color. So even if I'm not allowed to do the arrow, which I've just got this feeling that we're not allowed to do it anymore for some reason, but I haven't been following up on what Facebook is unhappy with anymore, because I haven't been doing anything to do with social media since getting sick. So I'm just going to sort of have it there. Underneath in the tabs, I'll position a tab, free giveaway or free spreadsheets or cheat sheets or whatever I'm going to do for this particular site. Or a box to sign up for the community or something like that. So I could actually just leave this arrow with no text on it. I'm not sure whether I should put the 17-minute challenge in that or not. Maybe let's play around. So if I go back to that YouTube one that I've been playing around with today and duplicate the 17-minute to that, I wonder if we're not even allowed to have, I'm starting to think that you're not even allowed to have any text at all on the Facebook thing, or was that a really old thing that they got over? I might just pause the video and go and check out some high profile fan pages and see if I'm even allowed to have words on there anymore, or just photos. So I think it might be worth spending a couple of minutes doing that before I waste any more time. So hold on. All right, I've been going to different I actually only just spent a minute just opening up different pages. So Mari Smith, obviously the Facebook queen, she's got words and sort of like a little ad on hers. She's got words here. She doesn't have anything pointed to these, but she is implementing the tabs. But it is mostly a main photo, plus there is text there. Coca-Cola is just using a photo, but they do have their branding there. Mashable has just Mashable, and no one's really implementing the tabs. Like, look how many tabs they have, but they're not even featured. So I also checked out the guidelines. On this, it just basically unique image that represents your page, photo of a popular menu item, album artwork, or a picture of people using your product. Be creative and experiment with images to see what your audience responds to best. All cover photos are public. Must do page terms, so I've clicked on that too. Dimensions. So there's nothing on this page, so let's close that. On the page terms, I read through all this, and the only thing I found about the cover was this. All covers are public. Covers can't be deceptive, misleading, or infringe on anyone else's copyright. Okay. And then the other one I found was, what are the dimensions, which is 851 by 315, and to recommend doing a JPEG or a PNG. And then here it actually specifically says, for images with your logo or text, you may get a higher quality result by using a PNG file. So it doesn't actually say anything about arrows or text. So back to the drawing board, back to the photo, unless I can, they're the first three things that popped up. I also checked out the main pages. They're not using arrows, but I couldn't see anything about not using it. So obviously things have changed, or I'm remembering something different, or I'm just not up with it. So God knows how this is going to look. Just crummy, really. You know what, though? I'm going to change the text to something else. I like their question, the 17 minutes to change your destiny thing. What could you do in 17 minutes to change your destiny? I mean, I can change this at any time, get the right shape, and we'll be in business, but it keeps, well, I'm obviously retarded. So what could you do in 17 minutes to change your destiny? Add some bling to my arrow. Is it frustrating watching someone do this? Sorry. Okay, or I don't have a motto, or anything. This is all happening on the fly. I love the fact that I'm actually, these little action challenges that I'm setting for myself is making me think. I am moving forward because I'm doing something, even though it's sort of not really, but at least it gives me, I don't know what to say. At least it gets me started, gets me out there, and I can adjust it as I go pretty easily, especially because I'm doing it all in Photoshop and I've got all the layers and everything. So, if I wanted to change something, I can. So do you have 17 minutes to change your destiny? I'm going to see how it looks. What do you reckon? Just see how it looks in the actual thing, because I don't know where the profile photo will turn up either. All right. Facebook cover. Okay, so to change your destiny needs to be over if I'm going to have that. I'm not a big fan of the text. I hate it when I go back to original ideas after I've wasted time, but let's go back to the original idea. I think I've screwed with this arrow too much, and now it's looking a little bit sore and sorry for itself too. That looks better. Don't know why I keep wanting to do a drop shadow, but I do. All right, so then we'll have the arrow there. I want to see what this looks like. I like it a lot better. Just clean and simple. And because the arrows, because everything's empty, You know, because I reckon 17 minutes rapid action challenge sort of does explain what it is. I don't really need to. And, you know, if they want to go to the website, you can. So I'll have the arrow pointing to a tab. I'm gonna change it. So it's pointing to photos at the moment. Now it's pointing to sign up, which obviously I'll change the text of that. And now I need to do something about this one. So I'm going to do a screeny, bring it in. It does sort of stretch it out a bit when they put it out there. All right, so we want a new, it's 160 by 160 for the Facebook profile pic. And I might play around with the colors here and do it like a pink border or something. And then I might just have 17 with the clock. Maybe. So I'll change the green to blue. Maybe not work, but you got to try these things out sometimes, don't you? Let's make this white. Let me do me 17. And that's what size it's going to be. Can't say I'm much of a fan, but let's play around with it anyway. Maybe we might be able to make it stand out, you know. Just not liking it at all. So I wonder how it's going to look when it's actually in there. I don't think it's going to look good at all. Oh dear. It's going to be stretched, so it'll kind of look like that, you know, but I think I might try and make the 17 a little bit more plainer. How are we going for time? Pretty funny that I'm using the Entrepreneurs Unite, and anyone that's a fan of that is going to go, what the hell are you doing to our page? So I really should have just created a brand new profile. I mean, I just can't think. So I think I'm just going to leave it for that until I come up with something better. In the spirit of 17 minutes, I think I'm well and truly reaching the limit here. So select, deselect. Okay, let's save it and just have a look anyway. I'm really not happy, am I? What? It's supposed to be 160. So at least 180. What? After all that, I'm need to brush up on my, so we want 180 by 180. And it will display at 160. That must be what it, yeah, okay. Fair enough then, fair enough. Okay. At least it stands out though, doesn't it? I mean, it's still branding and everything. Look at me trying to see the good of it. All right, it'll do. Until later.